Imagine you're designing a roller coaster, and you need to find the exact points where the track intersects the ground. This involves solving polynomial equations. The track can be represented by a polynomial function. The intersection points are the roots or zeros of this polynomial, where the function equals 0. What if I told you there's a powerful theorem that can make finding these intersection points much easier? Many students struggle with polynomial factorization, but today we'll unlock the secrets of the factor theorem, making it a breeze. By the end of this video, you'll master polynomial factorization and solve complex equations with confidence. The factor theorem is a powerful tool that connects the roots of a polynomial with its factors. Let me show you exactly what this theorem states. This theorem has two key parts. First, f of a equals 0 means that when we substitute the value a into our polynomial f of x, the result is 0. Second, when we say x minus a is a factor, we mean the polynomial can be written as x minus a times some other polynomial. In simple terms, if plugging a number into a polynomial gives you 0, then x minus that number is a factor of the polynomial. This creates a direct connection between roots and factors. This key connection is what makes the factor theorem so useful for solving polynomial equations and factoring polynomials. Now that we understand what the factor theorem is, let's unpack exactly what this theorem means, why it works, and how we can apply it step by step. First, let's understand what it means for something to be a factor of a polynomial. A factor of a polynomial divides the polynomial evenly, leaving no remainder. Now, why does this theorem work? The factor theorem is actually based on the remainder theorem. When you divide f of x by x minus a, the remainder is f of a. If f of a equals 0, then the remainder is 0. And if the remainder is 0, that means x minus a divides f of x evenly, making it a factor. Finally, let's see how to apply the factor theorem in practice. The process is straightforward and involves just a few simple steps. Step 1, substitute the value a into the polynomial f of x. Step 2, calculate f of a. Step 3, if f of a equals 0, then x minus a is a factor. If f of a does not equal 0, then x minus a is not a factor. This simple three-step process is all you need to determine whether any linear expression is a factor of a polynomial. In our upcoming examples, we'll see exactly how this works in practice. Now we'll work through our first example to see the factor theorem in action. We want to determine whether x minus 2 is a factor of the polynomial p of x equals 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 11x minus 10. According to the factor theorem, x minus 2 is a factor of p of x if and only if p of 2 equals 0. So we need to substitute x equals 2 into our polynomial and see what we get. First, we substitute x equals 2 into our polynomial. This gives us p of 2 equals 3 times 2 cubed plus 2 times 2 squared minus 11 times 2 minus 10. Now we'll calculate each term step by step. Let's start with the first term, 3 times 2 cubed. Since 2 cubed equals 8, we have 3 times 8, which equals 24. Next, the second term, 2 times 2 squared. Since 2 squared equals 4, we have 2 times 4, which equals 8. For the third term, we have negative 11 times 2, which equals negative 22. And finally, the constant term is negative 10, which stays as negative 10. Now we add all these terms together. 24 plus 8 plus negative 22 plus negative 10. Let's add these step by step. First, 24 plus 8 equals 32. Next, we have 32 minus 22, which equals 10. Finally, 10 minus 10 equals 0. Therefore, p of 2 equals 0. This is our key result. Since p of 2 equals 0, the factor theorem tells us that x minus 2 is indeed a factor of our polynomial. This works because when we substitute the value that makes the linear factor 0, we get 0 for the entire polynomial, which means the linear factor divides the polynomial evenly with no remainder. Now we'll tackle a more complex example. We need to completely factor the polynomial f of t equals t cubed minus 8t squared plus 17t minus 10. Step 1, we identify potential factors by looking at the constant term, which is negative 10. The potential factors are plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 5, and plus or minus 10. Step 2, we test our potential factors. Let's start with t equals 1. We substitute 1 into our polynomial. F of 1 equals 1 cubed minus 8 times 1 squared plus 17 times 1 minus 10. Let's calculate this step by step. 1 cubed equals 1, and 8 times 1 squared equals 8. So we have 1 minus 8 plus 17 minus 10. Computing this, 1 minus 8 plus 17 minus 10 equals 0. Since f of 1 equals 0, we know that t minus 1 is a factor of our polynomial. Step 3. We use synthetic division to divide our polynomial by t minus 1. We set up our synthetic division table with the coefficients 1, -8, 17, and -10. We bring down the first coefficient, which is 1. Multiply 1 times 1 to get 1. Add this to -8 to get -7. Multiply -7 times 1 to get -7. Add this to 17 to get 10. Finally, multiply 10 times 1 to get 10. Add this to -10 to get 0. The remainder is 0, confirming our factor. The quotient is t squared minus 7t plus 10. So we have f of t equals t minus 1 times the quantity t squared minus 7t plus 10. Step 4. We need to factor the quadratic t squared minus 7t plus 10. We look for two numbers that multiply to 10 and add to -7. These numbers are -2 and -5. Therefore, t squared minus 7t plus 10 factors as t minus 2 times t minus 5. Our complete factorization is f of t equals t minus 1 times t minus 2 times t minus 5. We can verify this is correct because the roots are t equals 1, t equals 2, and t equals 5, and each corresponds to a factor in our answer. Now we're ready for our most challenging example. We need to completely factor this fourth-degree polynomial. G of x equals x to the fourth minus 2x cubed minus x squared plus 2x. The first step with any polynomial is to look for common factors. Notice that every term contains at least one factor of x. This means we can factor out x from the entire expression. When we factor out x, we get x times the quantity x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2. Now we need to factor this cubic polynomial inside the parentheses. Let's focus on the cubic polynomial h of x equals x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2. To use the factor theorem, we need to find the factors of the constant term. The constant term is 2, so the possible rational roots are plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2. Let's test x equals 1. We substitute 1 for every x in our polynomial. H of 1 equals 1 cubed minus 2 times 1 squared minus 1 plus 2. First, 1 cubed equals 1, and 2 times 1 squared equals 2 times 1, which is 2. So we have 1 minus 2 minus 1 plus 2. When we calculate this, 1 minus 2 is -1, minus 1 gives us -2, plus 2 equals 0. Since h of 1 equals 0, we know that x minus 1 is a factor. Now we need to divide x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2 by x minus 1. We can use synthetic division. We write down the coefficients, 1, -2, -1, and 2. Using synthetic division with 1, we bring down the 1, multiply by 1 to get 1, add to get -1, multiply by 1 to get -1, add to get -2, multiply by 1 to get -2, and add to get 0. The quotient coefficients are 1, -1, -2. This gives us x cubed minus 2x squared minus x plus 2 equals x minus 1 times x squared minus x minus 2. Now we need to factor x squared minus x minus 2. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to -2 and add to -1. Those numbers are -2 and +1. Now we can write our complete factorization, starting with g of x equals x times the cubic polynomial. We substitute our factored form, g of x equals x times x minus 1 times x squared minus x minus 2. Finally, factoring the quadratic gives us our complete answer. G of x equals x times x minus 1 times x minus 2 times x plus 1. This polynomial has 4 factors, giving us 4 roots. X equals 0, x equals 1, x equals 2, and x equals -1. Notice how factoring out the common x at the beginning made this much simpler than trying to work with the original fourth-degree polynomial. The key insight here is that factoring out common terms at the beginning significantly simplifies the problem. This is always the first step you should take when factoring any polynomial. The factor theorem isn't just abstract mathematics that lives only in textbooks. This powerful tool has real applications across many professional fields that directly impact our daily lives. In engineering, the factor theorem helps analyze stress and strain in materials. Engineers use polynomial equations to model how structures behave under different loads, and factoring these polynomials helps identify critical failure points. In robotics, control algorithms often involve polynomial equations that describe robot movement and positioning. The Factor Theorem helps engineers design smoother, more precise robotic motions by simplifying these complex mathematical models. Financial analysts use the Factor Theorem in market modeling and risk analysis. Complex polynomial models that predict market trends can be simplified using factoring techniques, making it easier to identify key factors that influence financial outcomes. The Factor Theorem matters because it provides three crucial capabilities. First, it simplifies complex polynomials into manageable pieces. Second, it efficiently finds polynomial roots without guessing. And third, it enables professionals to solve real-world problems across multiple fields. Remember, whenever you see a polynomial and need to find its factors or roots, you're using a mathematical tool that powers everything from the bridges we drive on to the robots that manufacture our products. Today we mastered the Factor Theorem, one of the most powerful tools in algebra. Remember the key insight: if f of a equals 0, then x minus a is a factor of f of x. We applied this theorem through three progressively challenging examples, from simple factor testing to complete polynomial factorization. Each example built your confidence and showed the theorem's versatility. If this video helped you understand the Factor Theorem, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment with questions or topics you'd like to see next. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more algebra tutorials. Ready to take your polynomial skills to the next level? Check out our next video on advanced factorization techniques. Keep practicing, and remember, mathematics is a journey of discovery. See you in the next lesson.